Okay, so if you're an Aries born March 21st to April 19th, what can you expect for the month of October 2015? Let's tune in and find out. So October for Aries feels like you're coming in on a breeze. Like, in other words, like you've had, it feels like most everybody else, a little bit of tension. A lot of things have happened for you, but it feels like there's an upswing here. Like things are looking up, things are feeling good. There's an opening, a breath of fresh air. Some of you have taken a late or last minute vacation leading into October. So it feels like there's a nice opening, an idyllic setting. So I feel like you coming into October is really nice, really open, and new horizons. Things are starting to look up and look good. So very nice beginning. So let's start and focus first on relationships for Aries. For those of you that are in a committed relationship, let's see what October brings you. There's a really nice synergy of working together in partnership. Some of you may get caught up on some things that you feel are right and may become a little irritated that maybe your partner's not seeing your side of things or not maybe taking you seriously. And because we're dealing with the energy of Libra, we're dealing with relationships. And so you may find that this month you may be a little more challenged with your relationships, or you may find yourself wanting to speak up a little bit more, or being a little more assertive. Now, I know for most of you, that's kind of the way that you live, right? Most Aries are very assertive, but there are some of you that are influenced by other parts of your signs, I should say, whether it's your rising or your moon sign, that maybe you're not as assertive. And this month you may find yourself being more assertive, okay? In that particular romantic relationship, for those of you that are committed, there's something around the 17th where you may feel tied down or buckled down, or you're not real happy with it. It may be something that your partner's doing that roped you into it, or something that is taking them away from you. But there's a little bit of kind of like irritation around, it has to do with your partner and something that they're choosing to do, or something that they're forced to do or have to do. And it could be even that they're needing you to go on a business trip with them and you're not so thrilled about it. So it could be something like that, or you have to go visit family and you don't want to, their family, you're not so keen on their family, but it's like that. It feels like a little bit of an unpleasant chore in relationship to your partner. Now, the good news is that it just feels like it's a brief moment, not a big deal, and there is a really nice time around the 22nd, 23rd, where light really shines in the relationship and really positive, happy things happen. So all in all, it feels like there's these one or two little bumps in the road or things that you need to communicate more about, and then the rest of the time feels really good. Now, for those of you that are single and are looking for a relationship, what can you expect? So part of what needs to happen, Aries, is that there's been disappointment, like you've had a series of disappointment or been disappointed in the romantic area. And so now what you have to start to do is believe that there is a possibility that there is somebody for you, if that's what you want. And so for those of you that have given up, it's time now to kind of open up and go, you know what, I'm gonna give it a try again. I'm willing to be wrong. I'm willing to have the right person show up in my life. And it feels like around the 17th of October, there could be new beginnings for you with that. Now, there is a new moon October 13th in Libra that you may find yourself just having fun and meeting more people and enjoying life a little bit more. And there's another aspect to that new moon, something else planetary-wise that's going on, that you know how when you're having a good time and then somebody kind of like zings you? So there could be a zing in that good time where you're having a really nice time and then somebody just like says something inappropriate or something that just really kind of sets you off or steps on your toes. And I don't think you overreact, but it is something that kind of, it's like drinking coffee and then you have a stain on your shirt. It's like, I was enjoying my coffee so much until that happened. It's a little bit something like that around that October 13th date. Okay, so but all in all, new relationships are opening up if you want something romantic towards the end of the month, likely to happen. Now, for career, money for Aries. So I see this area of growth that's happening right now for your career. So you're kind of you're in this opening that's going to happen, and then they're showing me where it's going to I don't want to say shut back down, but then it's more like going inward, where now you have to do the work, you have to prove yourself, you have this big opportunity, now you kind of have to put your nose to the grindstone, get it done, or you have this big idea, and now you have to get it done, or you have a book idea, a big idea, and now you have to put your nose down and start to do it, right? Or you just got hired and you're excited, but now you have to put your nose down and do it, right? So it's this really focusing on action and intention. And this is a really good month for it, because you'll, especially while Mercury's still retrograde, you'll be able to, things slow down typically during that time, giving you more time to get accustomed to the rhythm and to what's being asked of you. And then as that moves forward on October 9th, you're going to start to see a widening and a stabilizing within yourself for your career and for your job. Now, with the money, that goes hand in hand. You're going to see the money come in, kind of like this influx of money. And then you're going to see this kind of holding pattern with the money, and then you're going to see more money opening up, especially at the end of the month. Really nice aspects for money coming in at the end of the month. You may also be asked to make a nice contribution to something. You may find people knocking on your door asking for money for good charitable causes. So you may see money going out, but they're for good reasons, for good causes. And it might be something new that you haven't given before, right? A new cause, new idea that comes to your mind, that comes to you, that finds you. And it does feel like it'd be a worthwhile thing for you to invest in or give your hard-earned money to. All in all, I think you'll be pleased. It feels like you'll be pleased with the month of October with your money. Okay, let's look at your health. So some of you may have some sinus issues going on, or eye issues. Kind of sinuses and eyes can sometimes be tied together. So you may have allergies or itchy eyes or dry eyes or just sinus congestion, but it feels like just this kind of sinus headache, sinus eyes irritation for some of you that could happen here in October. And it can come from anything. It could come from the environment, it could come from your food allergies, it could just come from a common cold. But it does feel like if you just ramp up on your vitamin C's and water, you can minimize that. And some of you are already aware of what toxins, if you have food allergies. For some people, wheat or gluten or dairy can affect their sinuses. So if you know that, then you just know to kind of like lay off of that, because this particular month you're going to be more susceptible to it, to having more inflammation, more of a reaction. For some of you, there may be some people that step on your toes, and they may become a little bossy with you this month. And you may have to stand up to them and say, you know what, that doesn't work for me, or you know what, I can't do that anymore. So, and this may get uncomfortable for you. It may be a best friend, somebody that you've admired, or a peer, or a coworker, or even a boss that maybe is not your boss anymore, because it feels like it was a situation that has crossed over from an employee-employer relationship, or to now where you're on a more friendly basis. And this friendly basis gives you it's an old paradigm that you're living by. So it's like, okay, they used to be your boss, or they used to be your peer or coworker. Now you've transitioned to friends, but they're pressuring you or treating you or asking you for things as from the old paradigm where you used to work for them, or you used to do that for them. And you're tired and you're done, and you're not going to do it anymore. That life that you had doesn't exist anymore, right? So you may find, if this is the case for you, where you're going to have to speak up and say, you know what, we have to change the dynamics here. I'm not that person for you anymore. We've got to find somebody else. I don't have time, or I don't have the desire. I care about you. I want to help you through this, but I can't be the one to hold your hand, or I can't be the one to do it. So you may find yourself, Aries, having to be tactful and having to be focused on how to let somebody down gently or to get somebody to fill in and take your place. Because I feel like it's almost like a placeholder. And it could even be a family situation where you're the one helping to care for an ill family member, or a parent or an aging parent or something. And you just can't take any more time off of work or whatever it is, and somebody else needs to step in. So it's a delicate situation. It's a situation that you have to handle delicately because the person involved is sensitive and they're emotional and they're attached to you, right? So you're going to have to wean these people off from you, and that can be a little trying and a little difficult. So just be careful how you handle it, Aries. You don't want to just cut and dry it, which would be a knee-jerk reaction. I've had enough. I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore, because it would really create this domino effect. So I think you'll be happiest if you handle it, with a lot of tact and diplomacy, and even if you have to say, okay, by November 1st, find somebody else, or we need to find somebody else by then, and I'm done. So if you give some lead time, that might help too. All right, anything unexpected for Aries for the month of October? Let's see. Yeah, you may be asked to come up with a new idea and or to spearhead something that's a lot of fun. And it may be that somebody else backs out at the last minute. And it could be a public thing. It could be a very public thing where, let's say, for the lack of a better, what's coming in is, it could be even a situation where there's a meeting that needs to be run and your boss is sick and you're going to have to step in to run it. Or there's a fundraiser and your friend was the MC and she lost her voice and now you're going to have to do it. So it's a big kind of like opportunity to step up and to be seen and be heard. And there could be a meeting scheduled and they can't make it and they're sending you instead. So don't stress about it. It's all good. You can handle it. You're up for it. It's absolutely a positive thing. And so enjoy it. Go with it. Some of you may have recently been also, what's coming up is your pets or your animals, have been concerned about your animals or your pets, and it could be that you're going to get a more definitive diagnosis towards the end of the month that helps give you a better understanding if they are ill, what's been going on with them, or if they're being hard to train, or if they're eating on everything. You're going to get the story behind the story. So it could, and for some of you, it could even be their teeth are coming up. Like it could be that the reason they've had this infection isn't really in the gut, really isn't in the GI tract. It's because they had an infected tooth, and that infection is draining down the back of their throat, going into the belly and causing all sorts of problems with their kidneys and their belly. So it's kind of this weird anomaly that's happening. So for some of you, you're going to get understanding to what the big problem was. You're going to get the backstory. You're going to find out what caused it, okay? And the same if they're chewing on everything and it's a new behavior, you don't know why they're stressing, you're going to find out what that stressor is. You're going to see all of a sudden you realize that you changed your schedule and your alarm is going off and you're spending longer days, and that's created your pet to be more nervous, right? So there's understanding that's gained this month around your pet's behaviors and around their health. It's interesting. Okay, so Aries, have an amazing month. It was great to connect with you, and if you like my intuitive astrology, please click like and share it with your friends, and I look forward to connecting with you again next month.